Hello, welcome to the very first episode of Venture Ventures D&D group. I was gonna say a group of comedians. Is it just a group, or is it just what would be the proper animal grouping there? I guess we can figure that out later.
Funny people is enough. Everybody here has made me laugh, so I think that's good enough.
That's a good thing, and hopefully we'll be able to keep doing that. So we're a group of comedians. We're going to be playing D&D 5e. I'm Jake Friday, the DM for this adventure, and hopefully many more. Sorry we're a little bit late. Had some technical issues, and hopefully that doesn't continue. But let's go around the screen here and go ahead and introduce yourself and introduce your character as well, physical characteristics. Katherine, you want to go first?
Sure. Hi, I am Katherine Elise. You can find me anywhere online at Katherine, not IRL. That's Katherine, Katherine, because Katherine is spelled many different ways. So I am comedian, actress, writer, and then let me tell you about my character, because she's who we're here for. Her name is Aradia Nightsong. She is a elf monk. She is 5'5", which is like kind of short for elves, but pretty average height for the type of elf she is, which is a drow. She has obsidian skin, lilac eyes. She is 277 years old, so an early 30-something in our lives. What else can I say? What else would you like to know? Oh, she's a monk. She grew up kind of we're not saying backstory yet.
Yeah, we'll save that for when it comes up.
Okay. She grew up in the Undercommon. We can say that.
Underdark, yeah.
Underdark. No, Undercommon. I changed it.
Well, you live there, not me. So I'm kind of...
No, Underdark.
Yeah. All right.
Correct me always.
Dave, why don't you go next?
Hello, my name's Dave Roderick. You can find me on Twitter at drod3 and Insta drod3 with 3 spelled out. If you want to hear me rant about the 76ers. I've been living in Los Angeles for about 8 years. I've been trying all different types of comedy. I've recently gotten into sketch comedy, but I'm on a bunch of improv teams. I recently joined a movie form team called Celluloid. So that's, what are they called? I don't even know the name of the team. I think Celluloid's taken. We're Celluloid something else. This is going great. My character is named Prodding Rod. I am a Kenku warlock. Let me go to some of his physical descriptions. Let's see. He is 4'7", I believe, if I chose. He's kind of on the taller or on the shorter side for a Kenku. He is from a northern city called Doomerville. Grew up very, very impoverished. It's kind of like economically and socioeconomically, like we describe modern day slavery. He's not like an actual slave, but he's kind of like socioeconomically a slave.
Does he have any distinguishing physical characteristics? Any things that would set him apart from other Kenku?
He has so Kenku are always named after some sort of like childhood sound that they make. They use mimicry to like name each other. So he's called Prodding Rod because he's got this little rod that's like about 2 feet long that he carries around with him everywhere, and it's used in his arcane magic. And he uses it he's kind of like a Sherlock Holmes type. He's like very strong in investigative skills.
We'll see about that.
Very curious.
This little guy will decide for you.
Hold on, wait. I have one quick question.
Yeah.
So a Kenku, they're like birds, right? They look like birds.
Yeah,
right?
like
they look
birds without wings. So I'm like a big crow that has regular arms.
So it's like, just imagine kind of a Disney character if you morph their wings into fingers, kind of.
This is a horror film. That's not a Disney.
I mean, if you see the pictures, yeah, if you see the pictures, it's less intimidating than it sounds. But I'm also I love crows and stuff like that. Richard, why don't you finish us off? And yeah.
Yeah, sure. My name is Richard Katherine. I am mostly a podcaster, I guess. I have a comedy advice show called The Awkward Human Survival Guide, as well as a more nerdy show called Interview with a Nerd. Yeah, let's see. Let's get into my character. So it is a Triton, and he's a sorcerer, and his name is Niolis Nymerith. And okay, so he's 18 years old, which puts him probably around like 24, 25 in human life. He's 5'2", which is actually kind of tall for Tritons, and he's got like jade colored skin, he's got light blue eyes, and he comes from a little underwater village called Blue Grotto. It's about 20 miles south of the what word am I looking for here?
South
of Northern Envir?
South of Envir.
Yeah.
Did I say northern or south?
You said, well, I mean, we're setting it right now. I think you said, like, northern, still in the bay of the continent. So, I mean, it's up to you. If you want to be on the bottom portion of the continent, you can certainly do that.
Okay, yeah.
But,
Decided.
Let's go ahead and try to get started. We have another player who's going to be joining us, Justin Matson. And, yeah, there's the Kenku. There you go.
Yeah.
That's the closest thing I can find on Google Images for Kenku. So he's kind of like just like a real badass.
Yeah,
it's adorable.
Yeah, I thought it was cute too.
It looks like something from the Dark Crystal, so I'm for it, and also terrified.
Oh,
that's spot on. Justin will be joining us when he can, and let's go ahead and get started. So, the players have been hired by the Ventures adventuring agency to provide security for the celebration of the placing of a cornerstone in a small town called Strew. This is a special event for them. It's a cornerstone of a new town hall that's being entirely funded by a wealthy retired adventurer, inventor, philanthropist, extremely rich gnome, Felix Tricknips, and he would be like the Bill Gates of Envir, I guess. Anyway, so he's funding it. I'll tell you a little bit about Strew. It's a small town about 150 miles north of Inista, which is a large city, the closest large city. Strew has a giant steel, metal, some sort of metal frame in the middle of the town, and the town settled around this frame. And it's kind of sticking into the ground. It's a couple acres. It's a rectangle, almost like a door frame. The locals believe it was once a door. They don't know why it got there, obviously, but they have theories. It's sticking into the ground at kind of an angle, so one side is buried in the ground and one side is sticking up a little bit. Yeah, you guys will be providing security for the celebration. You arrived last night. The celebration is today, obviously, and you stayed in Hansard's Inn, being paid for by the Ventures agency. What else? Yeah, I think we'll just leave it there. You guys are currently Justin's character, which I'll leave for him to kind of describe. he is outside right now. You guys are in the Huge Bed Inn, which is currently hosting kind of like the gaming area of the celebration. And the three of you are meant to keep the peace in the inn. There's some gaming going on, Dragon's Dice, Boogey Booby, which is a Inverian original, and I also just wanted to say it and hear you guys say it. So I made that game.
I refuse to say it the entire time. No, I'm just
That'll be fine. We'll see what happens.
Definitely interested in that one.
Yeah, so there's Boogey Booby going on, and that's causing a ruckus because part of the game is people chanting Boogey Booby. So
am I a child? Yes. The answer is yes.
And
I hear it differently every time. It's like Boogie Booty or Buggy Booby?
Booby.
Boogie Booby.
Yes.
It's like a booby that has, some technical difficulties.
Yeah.
Some boogie to it.
Yeah. If you thought this was going to be a serious D&D stream, I think we've established that's not going to be the case.
I'm definitely playing that as soon as I can.
You guys are currently in front of one of the Dragon Dice table, and there's two gentlemen arguing with each other. One is kind of shorter than the other, and they're elbowing each other, kind of making fools of themselves. Yeah, and you're a little weary that they're gonna start fighting here in a second. So, what would you like to do, or ask a question of me, and I will do my best to answer.
Point of clarification: Are we supposedly in the middle of playing Dragon's Dice? Or are we
No. You're like, imagine what are the Vegas table bosses who like stand around looking tough, and they kind of just they're kind of just like looking around. Yeah, so pit boss. You guys are kind of filling that spot right now.
Three of us are doing the work of one person.
Correct. You guys, what's weird is you were sent here, and there was no instruction as to who will be your, supervisor or tell you what to do. Max Morningbrow, who you received your rather cantankerous letter from, just told you to secure the place. So, you might have asked around, I don't know, and said, who's the deputy, who's the police around here. And they would have told you, if you did ask that, they would have said Deuce and Trey. So that's why it's kind of, you guys are kind of just winging it right now. I better not say that because we have a Kenku in our group.
Point of contention.
Yeah. So what do you guys want to do?
Well, okay, so these guys who are fighting, are they humans?
Yeah, they're two humans. One is kind of a stockier, looks pretty strong. If he had a beard, you might mistake him for a dwarf. And then the other is a lanky fellow. But they're both kind of just giving each other shit constantly.
Okay, and we know each other at this point.
Yeah, I would assume you guys, since you arrived last night, you're staying at the same inn. I would assume you guys would have introduced each other or talked to each other. Maybe you would have stayed in your room. It's up to you. So, yeah.
Aradia is thinking about just yelling the names Deuce and Trey at them to see if they answer.
Okay, is that what you want to do?
Yeah, that's what I want to do.
Okay, they both look at the same time, and they just give you this, like, what? And then they go back to playing.
No, that didn't work. Oh, well. Okay. Noted.
Okay, Nihilus is going to walk up to the table and try to join in on the game.
Okay. So you want to play some Boogey Booby. Mm-hmm. There's a spot next to Deuce. And so the way it's played is you need 4 6-sided dice, which you can have virtually on the dice roller, or you can, use physical dice. So you place a wager, place a bet, and the goal is to reach 18 on the dice. The closest without going over wins. Basically how it starts is everyone starts chanting Boogey Booby, Boogey Booby, Boogey Booby, Boogey Booby 3 times, and you slam your cup on the ground, and then you take 3 of the dice, and you look at them, you don't show them, so keep 1 out and keep the other 3 hidden. So go ahead and roll your 4.
Okay.
Make your bet first, actually.
Oh, okay. What's the minimum that I can bet? Because I'm not trying to lose all my money here.
A gold. This is not. That's actually pretty expensive, but a gold would be fine.
Okay, I bet a gold. I shout, Boogie Booby, Boogie Booby, Boogie Booby, Boogie Booby. That is hard to say, actually. I slam down my dice, and then I take my 4 that I'm hiding, right?
Yep.
Well, 3.
Yeah, you take 3. The idea is you drop the lowest, but just hide 3 of them.
Okay.
And then take the 4th one that you're not hiding and roll it out in the open.
All right.
Okay, the one guy who took your bet, he rolled a 1. The 4th die he rolled is a 1. Okay. And then you guys can reverse the game if you would like, which is kind of a bluffing mechanism. You can, if you choose, you can say Booby Boogie, which would mean you're trying to get the lowest. Hey, Katherine, I think you're muted.
Am I?
Oh, never mind. Your voice threshold.
I'm just very quiet.
Yeah.
I laugh silently.
So you can reverse it if you want. If you don't, or you can bluff about it. I don't know what you're holding there. Don't tell me. And then he can agree or not agree. And then you do it again. Boogie Booby, and you can then on the 3rd Boogie Booby you point at him or you, based on who you think is gonna win. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then
I think so.
Okay, and then you can roll another dice at that point. Before you do the Boogie Booby, I'm sorry. And then you do the Boogie Booby, and you take that 4th dice, that extra dice you're holding, and you can point at him, and then you give it to him, which will add to his total. Does that make sense?
Okay. I think so. Humans got some crazy-ass games up in here. That's all I know.
So roll another dice and hide it, another D6.
Okay.
And then you can choose to keep it to make your score better.
Keeping it.
Okay. And so you both would have gone Boogie Booby, Boogie Booby. When you're writing this stuff...
You guys should try and say that together. You guys should try and say it
Let's
together.
Let's do it.
All right.
Ready? Boogie Booby, Boogie Booby, Boogie Booby, Boogie Booby. Slam it down. Okay, he is going to point at you. Are you pointing at yourself, or...?
I'm pointing at myself.
Okay. That's fine. So I'll keep this dice, this extra dice, and go ahead and reveal the hidden dice and your score.
Okay, so the hidden dice is a 4 here.
Okay.
And the whole score because I don't understand this game apparently, is 14.
Okay. Yeah, he got a 16, so he's going to take your gold.
Okay.
And it's a gentleman with a gray beard, and he thanks you kindly, sir. And then Deuce turns to you and goes, aren't you the security?
And okay, so I say, yeah, what about it?
And he turns to his friend next to him, Trey, and he goes, Did you not introduce yourself, bro? Like, what? You said you were going to introduce yourself, because how are they supposed to know what they're going to do? And Trey goes, no, man, you wanted an apple, and I went to the market to get you an apple. That's what I said I was going to do. And so they start going back and forth a little bit. Deuce finally finishes it and turns back to you and goes, you are the security, and I would assume the other two you were hanging out with are the other security? There's supposed to be 4. Do you know where the 4th person is?
Kind of hanging out somewhere. They'll be joining us a little bit later, but what's going on here?
Oh, sorry. We're deputies here in Strew. I'm Deuce. This is Trey, and our father is, you might know him, is Felix Tricknips. I know. We don't look anything alike. He's a gnome. I'm a human. Doesn't make sense. What's going on? He kind of goes on like that for a while, and finally gets to, anyways, he adopted us, and, we're deputies now, so, just keep an eye on things, I guess, since my brother didn't do his job as under deputy. And Trey, upon hearing that, goes, there's no way I'm under deputy. So these guys are giving you the feeling that they're not the sharpest knife in the drawer. So yeah, you can check out the rest of the celebration. You can go hang out with Aradia and Proddy, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, okay. I walk up to Aradia and I ask her, so what do you think, like, what are we doing here? Like, who's causing what? What have you seen so far?
Well, just to me, I think those two are idiots, and we should watch out for them, because they can't be making our job easier, you know? It's not gonna, so my feeling is that we should tail them a little bit, watch what's happening with them, because if I'm honest, they're the people that I'm most concerned about.
Okay, yeah.
What do you think? Do you think they're just harmless?
They're clearly idiots.
Proddy, did you introduce yourself last night, or are you kind of keeping quiet? And you guys would know, by the way, Aradia, you guys would know that Kenku aren't capable of direct speech like you guys are.
Telepathy, right?
No, actually. He's special. So if last night he was trusting of you enough to let you onto that, that's a special gift he got. Most Kenku can only imitate what you say. So Dave or Proddy, did you tap into their head at any point and scare the shit out of them, I assume?
Yeah, last night at the Big Bed Inn, we all shared a big bed, and we felt like really cozy with each other. And Arabia and Nihilus were extremely trustworthy, and I just got like an instant kind of like war with them. And so yeah, I've started communicating with them through telepathy.
How did you just kind of rip the Band-Aid off on that, or how did that go? You guys are in bed together and pillow talk, and
they're a little too much to drink.
The big bed in. So there's very large bed. We were not that close to each other in the bed. We all had our own space.
But it's essentially an entire room is the mattress, so it's like we were sharing a room.
Sure. Sure, the door opens outwards, and it's right in the doorway. There's not even a walk space. It's just bed.
We have a strict no eating in bed, no eating in the room.
Yeah,
very hard to clean.
Yeah, this is what they're known for.
I remember Aradia being like very shocked because, as we know, she's fairly book smart. But this was something new. She hadn't really experienced this before, so it was a real moment for her. It's
not normal, and who knows? It might have given him issues in the past if he wasn't careful with who he did that to, because they might think that he's rooting around in their mind. Go ahead.
To be completely honest, she still can't make direct eye contact with him. Because it shook her, but she also doesn't want to judge him, so that's kind of where she's at right now.
And he's got
trying to hide her fear.
And he's got a 2-foot long, just carrying around a rod. That's that's almost half his size. So
I sleep with that rod, so.
I know. We woke up and we saw it was a little.
You held it very close.
All right, so in the end, Dave. Dave, you're frozen. Oh, now it's better. You were frozen, cradling
caressing your rod.
Yeah, it was a great time to have a bump in internet connection. So back in the inn, you guys just want to follow the twins or the brothers. Okay, yeah, they're gonna get up and go refill their ale, and that was all they have said to you. Since you got here, you guys can go outside, where Justin's character is, or you can stay in here because they're gonna go get ale, and then they're just gonna go talk to some people.
Well, feels like we should go outside, but part of me is still suspicious. I can't lie. But you know what? We should do something besides just stand in here, because we are gods. We should be doing something, right?
Yeah. And do you not believe them, Nihilus? Did you not believe them when Deuce and Trey were talking to you?
Yeah, I mean, he claims that their father is this highly intelligent person, and they don't seem to have inherited any of that.
Well, they're adopted.
Oh, right.
But why would he? Now I have questions as far as when he adopted them, how old were they? Because if he adopted these idiot children, what was his thinking there? I have a lot of questions.
You can ask him.
Adopted them.
You can ask Deuce and Trey if you like.
Okay, Aradia's gonna lean up against the bar. She's of course trying to pretend like she knows what's happening, but this is really her first time being out in the world, and she hasn't really drank mead or anything like that. But she's leaning against the bar, and she is talking to Deuce, who seems just a tiny bit more with it than Trey.
Sure. And at that time, once you lean against the bar, a 19-year-old human barmaid comes up to you and says, "Can I get you something, lass?"
Oh no, I'm on the job. Thank you. No.
Thank you. Okay. If you need anything, just let me know. Walks off. Doesn't look very happy about being there. You know how bartenders can give you the good face as soon as they leave. Mm-hmm. Their body language does a 180 and reveals them to be very upset about being there. So Deuce and Trey are there, and they're arguing about betting on the Boogey Booby game and stuff like that. So what do you say to them?
Quick question, just if it's not too much of a bother. I was curious to know about your father, since we're supposed to be protecting him.
Yeah, everyone.
How did you meet? What's the?
Well, we're adopted, and
yes,
Clearly.
He adopted us at a very young age, and we grew up in his household, moving around wherever he went. And he thought we needed jobs when we moved here recently, and so deputies, they get a town hall, just now we have a job. So we hired you guys. We talked to Marty? No, dude, it was Max, about hiring some people for security here for the Cornerstone laying ceremony. So, you guys are here to make sure stuff doesn't get out of hand. I will say, though, that if Trey and I get into it, wait until I kick his ass and then break us up.
Well, just one more question, if it's not too much. Has there been something in the past that you feel like is concerning that we should be on the lookout for, or are we just sort of like a general security force?
It's just general security, to be honest with you.
No threats of danger, this is just kind of an easy paycheck sort of thing?
I don't know about easy paycheck, but to be honest with you, me and Trey didn't want to have to provide security, and we wanted to drink, and we wanted to play Boogey Booby, and
a favorite, I see. Boogey Booby, I see.
Yeah, so that's why we hired you, and there's hopefully no fights will break out, but shouldn't be a problem. Everyone's the town, everything's paid for, and for the celebration. And my dad should be coming down for the ceremony, the Cornerstone ceremony. He'll probably give one of his speeches, and people will cheer and shake his hand and whatever. And then so that'll probably happen soon.
See. All right, well, thank you. She returns back to Prati, and is it Nihilus? How do you say your name, Richard? Nihilus. Great. Okay, and then just immediately goes, listen, I understand that I have an overactive imagination, but this is too normal. Everything sounds too normal. I just don't believe that it's only this.
Okay. We'll do a retroactive insight roll for you, since you guys seem to not believe them, which will kind of give you a reading on whether they're telling the truth. So Katherine, go ahead and roll a d20 and then add your insight.
Oh, remind me of where I roll because I don't have one in front of me. Where do I go to roll? Yeah,
so if you type in the Discord message, exclamation point, roll 1d20. See if that works.
Oh,
put a space in between the roll and the 1d20.
Great. No.
Okay, go to the roll section of our channel, which should be.
Got it.
And try it there.
Yeah, there we go. I rolled a 16.
Okay, was that with your insight?
Oh, with my insight,
it should be pretty high.
It is high enough. Let's see, where are you?
So it's +4 your insight.
Yes. 20.
20, yeah. You think these guys are fucking idiots, but they're telling you the truth. They're not.
Okay.
There's no There's no attempt to hide or even paint anything in a better light. They're just being themselves, which is morons.
Great.
Yep.
All right.
So,
now, Proddy, what do you want to do?
about this time, you hear someone yelling outside the tavern, yelling, "That boy took my lemons! Grab him!"
We should run out.
We're gonna run out. We're gonna go check it out.
Okay. You guys walk outside the tavern and you see a large, imposing man about pretty far away, like 100 feet away, yelling. So you hearing it inside the tavern, he's got quite a pair of pipes on him to yell that loud. And you see a kid running towards you with like a small bag of lemons. And the kid is just wild-eyed, just booking it, and he sees you, and what do you guys do?
I immediately spread my arms out for a hug.
Okay, when you do that, he goes, and he drops the lemons and keeps running, and just gets lost in the crowd.
Oh.
You don't get your hug.
Well, keep in mind you're a drow, and they don't.
So is it bright outside?
Yeah, but it's annoying, but it's not damaging you physically very much at this point. But no, the drow portion, I was saying because people see them as scary, and there's not very many drow that have done good things for people. So that might have been the first drow he ever saw. So you bending down and going, it's like,
I won't stop being me. Let me tell you.
Perfect.
Nihilus is gonna walk up to the guy who was shouting to kind of like figure out what was going on.
Okay. Yeah, so you walk up to him. Are you guys going with him?
I'm picking up the lemons.
Okay.
I'm going to go back inside.
Okay. So we'll get back to you, Proddy, and Nihilus and Aradia. You guys go up to this man, and he goes, "Did you catch him?"
Unfortunately, my friend here terrified the thing, and he ran off.
Yeah, she's a fucking drow. What do you expect? Nobody's seen the likes of a drow who's not trying to stab him in the face.
Excuse me, I have your lemons. I have your lemons. If you would you like a lemon?
They're covered in dirt. You just keep them. I don't care very much. I've got a whole orchard. Just you keep them. Consider them my gift for partially stopping the thief.
Oh, thank you.
Okay. I turn to Aradia and I say, "What the fuck is this guy's problem?"
And then I turn and I say, "Does he understand how rhymes work? It doesn't matter that they're covered in this."
So it's about that time you hear like some trumpets back towards the main square area where you see there's a giant rock in the middle, and the frame that's in the town comes around this rock, and the rock is huge, and they've carved out an area where they've put kind of like a makeshift stage, and they seem to be drawing people to the stage for the announcement or ceremony of some sort. Proddy, you hear that? You're in the tavern now. Do you hear the trumpets and stuff? Do you want to go back outside, or?
Proddy is very interested in talking to the barmaid.
Okay.
He feels like she might know something about about the person that owns the Big Bad Inn, and he also believes that those two adopted sons are morons. He wants to talk to someone who might actually know something.
Okay, so she's at the bar. You can go up to her, and she goes up to you and says, "Can I get you something?"
My character does a perfect impression of the old man at the Dragon Dice table, and he goes, "Thank you kindly, sir."
and she, you see her just dead in her eyes look like it kind of shakes her back into the moment, and she doesn't know what to do. Maybe it's her first time talking to a Kenku. And she goes, "Do you want something to drink?"
He makes a cork popping sound.
Oh.
Does the little pouring. Look,
I'm excited.
For champagne.
Yeah. Okay. I'm excited to know that we have. What was the guy's name in Police Academy series who did all of them?
Sound effects, man. We're using them.
Yeah.
Hey.
Next time you guys chase someone down, Dave's gonna do the siren and tires screeching around the corner. Anyways, so she goes, yeah, she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, we only have ale and mead. We're a bit low on mead."
He does a perfect impression of the Coors Light train, like he does that whole.
Despite the
yeah,
sure. Despite its not fitting in anachronism. I was going to use that word, but then I got scared I wasn't using it correctly.
No, it's the right word.
Despite the anachronism, she somehow understands what you mean and just pours you an ale to get you out of her hair, and everything is paid for.
I don't know if I can do this, but can I say that he points to a picture of Tricknip on the wall?
Sure,
sort of
sure.
And then he sort of like, yeah? Can you tell me something about?
That's Felix. He's building the new town hall, and you've heard of him. You guys have heard of him. He is a very famous inventor. He invented some sky ships, and as well as some military weapons. So he's got his fingers in a bunch of different areas, and he's actually, you've heard through rumors and such, that he wants to build a rail system with arcane powered trains.
Is he like the Elon Musk of in beer?
Sure. He's like Elon. He's like Elon, Bill. Well, yeah, Elon, Bill, Steve Jobs. He's that kind of like person, entrepreneur.
He points to another picture next to that picture.
A little smaller. It's just a big, and then it gets small.
Tricknip, and he's like with a bunch of like kids that he's helped in some way, and he just goes, huh?
He's
like, what kind of like philanthropy work is he doing?
He moves around quite a bit, and everywhere he's gone, he's built something for the town, and I gotta get back to work.
Nihilus walks into the bar and calls over Prodding Rod and says, "Hey, they're doing something outside. Trumpets are wailing. I think we gotta go where the crowd is at."
Yeah. So, what do you want to do, Proddy? Oh man,
exactly.
I've never had a Kenku in a group, and I'm fucking excited. So you guys go out into the square. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, and you see a crowd has gathered, and what you see is a floating squid type creature, but with a very pleasant look. It would be a lot more scary if everyone was freaking out, but they don't seem to be freaking out. But he looks a bit like that. So he's very pleasant. He's got the eye stalks coming out. He's just floating along, and he's going up to the stage. And in your head, all of your heads, he clears his throat. Hello, I'm sorry to intrude like this. Many of you maybe have never seen a flump before, but don't be scared. I work for Felix Tricknips. Unfortunately, he will not be able to attend the ceremony. He had a death threat. He sent me in his place. I am Beta Skreeg, 5 E's. I am his undersecretary. And I will be dedicating this cornerstone for this wonderful town of Strew. And he says it like kind of condescendingly. And then he goes on to say, Felix Tricknips, and he just goes on about everything he's done. So Felix says everything I've told you he's done, and talks about a partnership with Bree, a guy named Bree. Like, you guys are supposed to know who that is. The guy's name is Avner Bree, which would be like the partner to Felix. And when he starts talking about Avner Bree, he kind of smooths over or hops over once they decided to part, that type of deal. So might have been.
And is he sort of like the Wozniak?
Sure. Yeah, one of them's the Wozniak.
Okay.
Yeah, so he talks about how they both wanted to be involved in philanthropy if they were able to. And he also mentions that Avner got into some weird religious dealings. And then he moves on, changes the subject to the town hall and all its features that they'll be building, fully covered by Mr. Felix Tricknips. And as he's getting to the end of the speech, you see the same man who was yelling about the lemons come out from the side of the stage. And he is sprinting, not yelling, until he gets onto the stage. He starts yelling about, the Sidon ones will repay you. And he goes to swing at Beta, and out of the rock, you see these, the rock cracks, and there's 4 cracks. And arms unleash like that. And before Zeke, his name is Zeke, can get to Lemon Man, okay. for all intents and purposes. Okay. The giant clockwork creature smacks, just backhands Zeke, and Zeke goes flying very far out of sight. You might have saw... actually, you know what? All of you roll perception. Make a perception check. So roll a d20 and then add your perception mod.
I got 20 with perception. I mean, with the mod.
Okay. So your perception radio would be a +4.
And I got 11, so 15.
Proddy?
So I rolled an 18.
So 9.
And then...
yeah, it's +1 perception.
Okay.
So that's wasn't a high difficulty check. You guys are pretty damn sure you saw his head fly off.
I don't know where his head starts and his body begins.
So he just kind of gets smacked by this giant clockwork beast, and the clockwork beast has 4 arms. The fronts are all giant pieces of what looks like stone. You guys, nobody's noticed that he was there. He was completely camouflaged into the rock. He looked just like part of the rock. And he's actually moving around on a giant screw. And so when Zeke came, he smacked him and then moved out in front of Beta, and Beta was just like, oh my, and everyone, you heard that in your head. He's not saying anything. And then you see on the other side a little beast with little tiny wings about 2 feet tall carrying a bag, and the beast dumps out the bag, and out of the bag comes a bunch of hands, claws, legs, spines. He dumps them out, and they start running everywhere, attacking different people. They're attacking people, trying to kill people.
So the body parts are trying to get more body parts?
You don't know why they're doing it, but they were... you don't know why they're doing it, but they're essentially attacking people. People are screaming. You see there's actually a bunch of different claws when he dumped it out. You think you might have saw a drow claw, a furbolg claw, a triton hand, and you might have saw a talon. There's just it's every type of kind of claw. There's a paw, there's feet, there's arms, and the spines are trying to choke people.
Radia wants to... Can I do something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Do something.
Yeah, go ahead and let's roll initiative, the very first initiative. So to do that, everyone, your initiative should be next to your armor class.
So I'm still doing 1d20?
Yeah, all of your rolls except damage rolls will start with a 1d20.
Right. Oh, darn. I got 8, and then initiative... Where do I find that? I'm looking.
So you'll find that... Let me look at your initiative. You'll find that next to your armor class. It's a +3. It's under your proficiency bonus.
I see.
Yeah, so
I didn't get... I just got 11.
Okay.
But I want to hit one of them with a lemon that I'm holding.
Sure. And we'll do that when we get to your turn.
Okay.
So let me put you in the order. Prati, what'd you roll?
14.
Is that
1?
So 15?
Yep.
Nihilus.
11.
Okay, so Radia and Nihilus. Let's see. So when you guys are tied on initiative, you guys can decide who goes first, or you can do it by who has the higher dexterity score. What do you guys want to do?
If you want to go first, you can.
I think you have a plan with lemons. I think you should definitely do your lemon plan.
Okay.
Okay, so Prati, you are first in the initiative order. What would you like to do? There's a bunch of hands and stuff you can attack if you want.
Is there
I want to attack one of the spines that's choking someone.
Okay, so they spread out pretty far, so all of you will be in range of all of these things. So yeah, you can get to a spine, and that spine currently is on an old lady and has her on the ground, and it's just like tied itself around her neck. So go ahead, and what do you want to run up to it, or
let's see here. I'm looking at my I take one of my daggers and I try to just sever the spine.
Okay. Go ahead and roll attack. Roll an attack, which is a D20.
16.
Okay, that'll hit. And go ahead and roll your damage, which is 1d4 plus your dex mod.
I got 1 plus 1.
So you're struggling to cut this off, but you manage to do it. And when you do, the spine falls limp off the old lady, and she is gasping for air. Not even, she's not thanking you yet. She's just like getting the air into her lungs. And that is your action. Is there any bonus action you would like to do, or anything like that?
I just help the old lady get back to her feet, and I brush off her clothes for her.
Sure, you can do that. It'll take, a bit to get her to realize what you're doing. She's looking at a bird helping her up, so that's fine. Let's see, who's next? I believe it's Zeke's turn, but he's dead, and headless. So, Aradia or Nihilus? Which, Aradia?
Aradia.
Yes.
Okay.
I have lemons that I want to throw at a hen.
Okay. Yeah, so...
No, are there mouths? Are there any mouths?
There's not. There's a pelvis, which is a weird... A pelvis is...
Well,
what is the pelvis?
Yes, I feel like the acid will have more effect on the pelvis. I would like to attack the pelvis.
You see this pelvis just going to town on this dude,
with thrust.
Yeah, it's just thrusting. It's just thrusting, and it's getting close to knocking him off his feet. You don't know what will happen once he gets him off his feet, but the guy is seemingly worried about it.
Yes, I will pelt the pelvis with my produce.
Okay, and since you're a monk, we'll just say you're proficient in throwing lemons. So go ahead and roll a d20, and then add your proficiency bonus as well as your that'll be it. Your proficiency bonus.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, so I got 14, and then for proficiency, I got...
You have 2 proficiencies, so
yes.
16 total, I believe.
Yes.
All right, so you throw this lemon, and it hits the pelvis and explodes.
The pelvis or the lemon?
The lemon and the pelvis.
This was more than I anticipated. But it's not a bad thing. I just didn't know.
Yeah, so you'll probably put 2 and 2 together that Zeke, being the same guy who was yelling at the kid for stealing his lemons and just trying to attack Beta, had some magic explosive lemons.
How many lemons did we grab?
I have at least 10.
Yeah, there's.
I shoot them like this.
You have
Whoever needs lemons, come get them.
There was a dozen, and so now you have 11. But go ahead and roll damage. 1d4 plus 2.
Great. Okay. 1, 2, 4. Oh. Did I do it wrong? I did something wrong. Oh no! Okay, I rolled a 1, so I got 3.
Blew up the pelvis. The pelvis is no longer thrusting. But you did damage the man. He's holding his shin. He's not profusely bleeding. But he's just the Family Guy Peter Griffin thing when he goes So, and he's just holding onto his leg. The guy's just doing that on the ground. So you still have your movement and a bonus action if you like, or you can end your turn.
Yes, I think I'm fine for right now. Thank you. Moving on.
You got plenty of lemons. Nihilus, what would you like to do?
So you said that someone came out to dump all these body parts, right?
Yeah, So once he dumped the body parts and people started seeing them run and therefore they started running, you lost him in the crowd and don't see it right now.
Okay. What else is around other than these body parts that I can attack? This giant thing which I feel like will pulverize me. The Guardian, he's just standing in front of Beta right now, looking around. He's not attacking anything. Is he on our side? He killed Zeke, right?
Yeah, he smacked the shit out of Zeke. So yeah, you would think that.
Pretty sure he's dead.
Well, Zeke's dead, but Beta's fine. The Guardian, the Clockwork Guardian, is standing guard, and
okay. Then I want to specifically target the Triton hand that you mentioned earlier.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go at it with a dagger.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your attack.
I got a 20.
You go ahead and roll your damage,
which is a 1d4. That's a... Nope, that is not a 1d4. Here we go. I got a 2. Plus 2, so 4.
Okay. So this Triton hand, or what you think is a Triton hand, is currently in someone's shoulder, digging in, and the hand itself, it's mottled, and it looks to be in some state of decay, and it's got very disgusting and sharp-looking claws, and it's digging into someone's shoulder, and it looks to be just trying to sever it in some way, and so you stab it, and it goes lifeless and falls to the ground. So that claw is done. You still have a little bit of movement, probably like 10 feet of movement, and then you have your bonus action if there's anything you'd like to do with that.
I just want to am I close to Aradia, because I'd like to take like 2 lemons from her?
No, so she didn't move, and then you took off from her about 20 feet, so you can get about halfway back to her, and then on her turn she can toss you a lemon or run to you and give you a lemon. So yeah, that can happen. Do you want to run back?
Yeah, I'll run a little closer.
Okay, cool. And keep in mind with each of these rounds, even though we're going in an order, technically all of this is occurring at once. For combat's sake, we're doing it in an order. So these rounds happen in 6-second increments. Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about, like, I would like to dissect the hand and carefully examine. So that's obviously that wouldn't be a one action thing in 6 seconds. Yeah. Just keep that in mind for future combat and such. Okay, so it's the Stone Defender's turn, and he is standing guard. Like I said, he's not gonna move. He's gonna take a dodge action. Not that he needs it. It's the Claw's turn. Okay.
Just collectively the claws?
A bunch of Claw's turns, yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I get to my... Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Need to roll another one. Okay, so one is going to go for Nihilus. Nihilus, it rolled a 15 to hit. What's your armor class?
I'm a 10.
Okay, so that's going to hit. And did you, just as a point of order, did you take mage armor as one of your spells?
Yes.
Okay. So that will increase your armor class to 13 plus your dex mod, so it'd be 13 instead of 10. This claw still would have successfully attacked. So let's see, claw. +3. Yeah, it hit. Okay, 1d4. So 1. So 2 slashing damage on the Furbolg hand, which is, you notice, is a little bit meatier and bigger than the other claws. Go ahead and mark 2 off your hit points as this claw leaps at you, Addams Family style. What's the hand's name in Addams Family?
Thing?
It?
Thing.
No, it's Cousin It. And then...
Cousin
the hand
It
is Thing, I think.
Thing.
Yeah, the Thing is the... Right. So this jumps and claws you. 2 damage. So that's that claw's turn. The other 3 claws are going to go after a couple guards who were standing around the corner from the stage, and they get hit. The rest of the claws are just still attacking people. So Nihilus, you have a claw still near you. Just keep that in mind for your next turn. Okay, so it's the guard's turn. Yeah, and the guards are struggling with... one is struggling with another spine, and another is struggling with a claw. And then we're back up to the top of the round with Parati. What would you like to do?
I would like to make my way over to the east of the bag.
It's gone. You don't know where it is. You can go over to the bag.
Yeah, I want to go over to the bag.
Okay.
I walk over to the bag and I poke it upside down with my rod.
Yeah, it seems to be empty. Nothing in it. You can... Let's see. Let me look at your character sheet. You can shoot a crossbow at one of these other claws or legs or hands from where you're at if you like. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I would like to shoot my crossbow at the spine that's attacking the guards.
Hate the spines. Okay. This is going to be tricky because it's currently on the guard, so depending on how you roll, you would know that it's a tough shot. So there's a few claws you could probably try to pick off who aren't.
I'll try to shoot one of the claws.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for attack.
12.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, so... Yeah, that'll hit. Go ahead and roll your damage, which is 1d8 plus 1.
Oh, it's a d8?
Yeah, I'm looking at your character sheet. Is that the light crossbow?
Yeah.
Damage 1d8 plus 1, piercing. See that?
I see that on my character sheet. I don't know where it is.
It's under actions and then all.
Oh, right. I have it on equipment right now. Yeah, crossbow 1d8 plus 1.
Okay. So, yeah.
So 6 to 7.
Yeah, you pin this thing to a wall. It's just going like this, and then it just falls dead. I
make a clapping sound.
As a woman runs by you, she kind of turns and keeps running as she runs for her life.
Is it the barmaid?
No, she's in...
Man, I had a real connection with her.
She is probably still just as pissed off about her current situation as ever. All right, back to the top of the round, Aradia.
I want to go and help Nihilus.
Okay, so he's only 10 feet away, so you can run up to him. Do you want to give him some lemons, or what do you want to do?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to give him some lemons and then also try and hit that claw that's by him.
Okay, you can go ahead and do that. What do you want to... how do you want to hit it? Like with what?
You know what? I think because we're so close, I'm going to do my quarterstaff.
Okay, go ahead and roll for an attack.
Okay, 1d6.
No, that's your damage. Roll for attack, so it'd be a 1d20, and then add 5, which is your attack bonus.
Oh, 3 plus 5. Thank goodness, so 8.
Yeah, that's not going to do it. You go to swing. You're handing him lemons, and then wherever you had your lemons, maybe you just dropped them. But then you're like, oh, as lemons fall on the ground trying to grab your quarterstaff, and this hand, which is pretty dexterous, it's a hand, it dodges out of your well-trained quarterstaff swing. So that'll be your action. Do you have a bonus action or a movement?
Can I pick back up any of the fallen lemons?
That would probably be an action. I'll say one of them found a pocket on your person, so you still have one on you. But you can pick them up next round if you like. Okay, Nihilus.
No problem.
You've just been attacked by the claw,
and I'm so pissed.
Rightfully so.
I want to take advantage of my mage armor and cast that on myself, so I'm not open for attack like that anymore.
Okay, you guys see this, especially you, Aradia. You see just arcane energy. Do you have a focus, a arcane focus as you're casting?
I believe it's arcane. Yeah.
Do you know what kind of focus it is? I'll look it up. It's a crystal. Where do you keep your crystal?
Around my neck, like on a necklace.
So you've got your crystal, which is how you kind of focus your in blood arcane power. You grab it, and when he grabs it, arcane energy emits from around the crystal and covers him in a light blue shimmer. Yeah, so you have that now for 8 hours, I think, is the duration.
Yes.
And that would be your action. Is there any movement or bonus action you'd like to do?
So my bonus action says it's like 2-weapon bonus. Is that only when I attack with a weapon? 2-weapon fighting?
Yeah, you'd need...
Because I do have 2 daggers.
Yeah. Did you think... You know what? For the sake of expediency, let's just go ahead and do it. So you want to stab that?
Yes.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for your attack with the dagger.
I got a 7. And that's less than what I rolled.
So that'll be a 9 total, right? To add your bonus... if you go back to actions under all.
Yes, that's a 9.
Okay, so again, this hand is looking pretty proud of itself, dodging out of your guys' strikes. If this wasn't happening so quickly, you might feel worse about it. Okay. Let's see. It's a stone defender's another town person who was just blending in is sprinting towards Beta again. And keep in mind this is all happening really quickly. So probably like 12 seconds after Zeke got smashed, this other female person starts running towards Beta, who had kind of moved back from the front of the stage and is kind of hiding in the back. So this cultist is trying to flank around the Clockwork Defender, and she's screaming something about the Sidon ones, and the Sidon King will will destroy you all. Just spouting off about crazy stuff as she runs up, and the stone defender takes one of the points of one of his arms and just stabs her, and she's done. And she's now impaled on one of his rock arms. Okay, who's next?
The guards.
And you'll notice, also, I neglected to mention, when both Zeke and the cultist who just ran up, her name is Gail. I named her. She,
Short-lived.
So we could feel her loss more.
Sure.
Or like impale.
When they ran up, they were not wearing their original clothes. Before they had, like, the fantasy equivalent of a turtleneck on. It was it looked fancy. It didn't look out of place when you were talking to Zeke. But they had taken that off when they attacked, and you would have seen on their necks, there would have been rectangular patches that were skinned off. And Zeke would have had like a piece of recently cut on his head, piece of skin that was skinned. But they all had that in common, the rectangles on their necks where they had skinned themselves or someone had skinned them. So it's the Claw's turn again, and there's not very many left. Okay. 1, 2. Nope. And then the one that's can attack. Nope. That'll be a 5 to hit you, Aradia, the one that had clawed. What's your armor class? That's not going to hit, but I just...
My armor class is 15.
Yeah. This claw just wildly misses. You dodge out of the way. The other two...
Take that! It's not so easy to hit a thing, is it?
It goes like this. So let me do that. Okay. Okay, you see a couple townspeople who have had their throats ripped out by a couple of these claws. Yeah, and that'll be the rest of them. I'm not rolling like a DM right now. DMs usually roll a lot better because they don't care about the rolls, right? When you're a player, you care about the rolls, and then you don't roll well. Anytime I roll, it's like, oh, another one. Oh, another one. So yeah, it's the claws are done. Okay. Guard's turn. You see a guard hit, just destroy what you thought would have been could have been a drow hand, and another guard comes in and cuts in half an arm, and there's not very many left. You can completely ooh, a light.
Yeah.
You can pretty well tell people have cleared out of the square, are starting to clear out of the square, and those that are being attacked by various appendages are they're pretty easy to see. And so guard's done. That guard's done. Prati, we're back up to you.
So I'm very interested in the I don't know what we're calling him, the rock person.
Yeah, Clockwork. So you see, once he came out, and now he has his arms kind of in like
He's got one arm busy impaling.
Yeah, he's got one cultist on one of the arms. He's got 3 other arms that are kind of protecting, ready to take on any comers. And you see just gears and stuff, heavy armor on him, and then, like I said, he's got a giant screw that he moves around on that kind of churns up the ground when he moves.
Can I have to have something to cast a spell, right? I can't. So I have one that has very long range.
What do you mean you have to have something? Like, you mean a material, or?
Yeah, is there a cost to my level 1?
Did you add level 1 spells to your guy? Or did you pick them out?
I have a couple cantrips.
Yeah, let me look. So you have Sacred Flame.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking, because that's about 60 feet. I don't know how far away I am.
Who do you want to attack?
The clockwork.
Really? Okay.
He's on our side, isn't he?
Well, he's not attacking anyone. Yeah, you can go ahead and sure.
I thought he was with the fiend that had the bag.
No. He when Zeke came out and ran to attack Beta, the flump, the squid type thing. He was running straight for Beta. I apologize if I didn't explain this well enough, but the other thing that emptied the bag was off to the side of the stage, kind of like 30 feet away. After Zeke got his head knocked off, and then the clockwork just immediately is guarding anything that comes to attack the stage. Is kind of like it.
Basically protecting Flump.
Yeah, he's protecting the Beta Skrig.
Okay.
Yeah, you can use your. If you don't want to do that,
yeah, I'll help Nihilus. Is he?
Thank you.
Is he?
Is there anything still attacking Nihilus?
There's Aradia and Nihilus. You are still in combat with one claw.
Yeah, is the claw like a safe distance away for them for me to use my crossbow?
Yeah, it's not on them, so
Okay.
unless something terrible happens.
I'll shoot my crossbow.
Okay, go ahead and roll your.
Can I use a movement action first just to go closer to them?
Yeah, you can do it. You can use your movement at the beginning, in the middle. You can break up your movement. You can move at the end.
I'll use my movement to go closer to Nihilus and Radio.
Okay, yeah. So you want to go. I mean, you can get right.
Yeah. I'll just get right with them.
Okay.
And then, maybe like 10 feet away, and I can shoot my crossbow
for sure
away from them towards the.
Yeah. I read you. Go ahead and roll your attack roll.
15. Nice.
That'll hit. Go and roll damage.
Yeah. So +1. So 16.
Yeah, you hit. Go ahead and roll the damage. 1d8 plus 1.
4 + 1, 5.
Okay. Yeah, this thing is destroyed. Let me see. Somehow the stream stopped, so that's not good.
Uh-oh.
Proddy does a perfect Bill Paxton going, game over, man!
You should have saved that for the stream. No, that's fine. Let me just make sure we're still... This is why I need a producer.
Can I run to the restroom? Is this the time now for that?
Yeah, we'll take a break. Why don't you take a $5?
Taking advantage.
Yeah, we'll take a break. Why don't you take a $5?
Muting so you guys can't hear me urinate. Jeez.
Okay.
Weirdos.
What?
Oh, I have a question about spells. Are we using the spell slot system?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you need to keep track of that however you want to do that. I'm burning up.
Oh no.
That's what I get. Try to keep the sound down, and I'm surprised I'm not sweating more.
Yeah, I have my AC on all day, all night. I cannot deal with the heat.
I wish I could do that.
I have a very specific temperature setting that I like, which is like 78. And if it's a degree less or above, I'm like not happy.
I feel like that's so hot.
Yeah.
It's great.
Give me 68.
No, yes. And then curl up under a blanket.
Yes. I don't want to go off on a tangent and a rant here, but when you're cold, you can put on more clothes. Once, if you're hot, you can only take off so many clothes. So I don't...
You guys can't take off your skin? Look into it. It's very helpful.
Zeke could take off part of his skin, at least around his neck.
Stop! I'm eating.
Oh, poor Zeke. He came to a ignominious end.
Ooh, good word.
Do you ever just like a word in any other situation you would know it's correct, but sometimes like a smidgen of doubt comes into your head right before you're about to use a word, and you're just like,
I also think that like I 100% am not too worried or concerned about it if I'm like just talking to my friends. I can be stupid, it's fine. But if I know that people besides my friends are going to hear it, I'm like...
Yeah, if you're in... Okay. If it's a work situation,
like, oh my gosh. I still have flashbacks of... I did a show with Richard where I talked about Wolfsbane as like my favorite character, and I got so much information wrong. It was insane. It was insane when I went back and listened to it. I was like, you know that she's not from there. Like, why did you say that? I think it was like the fear of like, oh, I've got to fill space. Just keep talking, even if it's wrong.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I can relate to that. One of the stupid things that drives me nuts is, the lead singer of the Four Non-Blondes, the 90s group? I forget her name, but I was under the assumption up until like 4 months ago, so 31 years, that she committed suicide in the 90s and she was dead.
She's like a very famous producer now, isn't she?
Yeah, but I didn't know that. And I had been going around like anytime the 90s.
Perry,
yes. Anytime the 90s are brought up and I was saying, I love 90s music, I don't give a shit what people think. I love the Four Non-Blondes. It's too bad the lead singer killed herself with a shotgun.
That's so dark. That's such a... And she like is a producer on a bunch of Pink songs now.
I don't even know how that got into my head, but I believed it, and I would go. I know I've said it probably a dozen times in 30 years, and nobody until recently said that's not correct.
Oh my
She's alive.
Fuck everyone in your life.
Yeah.
You knew that information and didn't say anything. Oh my gosh.
I didn't know that information, but I also didn't assume she killed herself.
Well, it's just... I love the Four Non-Blondes. Yeah, it's too bad the lead singer killed herself.
Also, I hate to tell you this, but you're a real Debbie Downer for like that's the first thing you bring up.
I don't know how I would have brought it up. I would hope I wouldn't have been so...
But also, did people...
You know who else killed themselves?
Did people love the Four Non-Blondes, or did they love that one hit?
I'll be honest, I just like the one song, but...
Yeah.
I love them so much. I know so much about them, but I've also only listened. I'm very nervous that I'm about to go on a K-pop podcast. And the truth is like, I have very specific knowledge about one band, and I can generally talk about a lot of other stuff. So I'm like, Jesus, is this going to be horrifying? I don't know. Should I be doing research? I don't know. We'll see.
Let's, I don't envy you, because I would know less about K-pop than you probably do.
Yeah.
But let's get back.
Good. It's why I'm on a podcast about it.
Good call. Let's get back into the fight. Whose turn was it? I believe it was...
Prodding Rod had just killed the claw.
Yeah. So Zeke is dead, and now it's Aradia's turn.
Mm-hmm.
Still got that
okay, so...
pesky claws running around you. Not the same, but yeah,
still
different ones.
Probably the same hive mind, if we're honest. I want to, and is it the last one? That's the last one?
Actually, yeah, there's no more claws. There's a talon running around. There's a paw. There's an arm and a leg.
Let's just take this stupid thing out.
The talon?
No, whatever.
You just want to attack one of them. Sure. Go ahead and you can do that. There's a paw just currently scratching on someone's face.
Okay. I want to go up to that paw and I want to headbutt it off of this other person.
Okay. She's on the ground, so are you gonna saddle up next to her in the spoon position?
Hugs. If we don't know anything else about my
are you gonna be on the ground and next to her, kind of spooning, and then go just headbutt?
Yeah, that's what. Let's see how effective that is.
Yeah, I'll give you advantage on that and an inspiration for being ridiculous. So,
Thank you.
So, go ahead and add your keep track of your inspiration die. That'll be a D6 you can add to anything.
Okay.
And advantage on the attack. So roll a D20 twice or 2D20 and take the highest roll.
Inspiration dice. Sorry, I just had to write that down so I don't forget it. Okay, so I'm gonna do roll 2d20. I got a 19 and then a 14, so 19.
Okay, yeah, that's plenty. That's without your attack bonus as well, but you still hit. And you're hitting with which will be an improvised unarmed attack, which is fine with a monk. Go ahead and let me see what yours is real quick. Yeah, screw it. 1d4. Roll a 1d4 and then add 3.
Yeah.
Natural 4.
Perfect.
Plus my other 4.
you headbutt the shit out of this paw, and it just goes.
Yes.
You're just next to her, and you go, oh! And the paw goes, woo.
But in a way, still gentle enough to not hurt her, I hope.
Oh no, you're fine. You rolled high enough. You were like an angel with your headbutt. She is bleeding profusely from her face, though, from the claw. You know what? I'm gonna find out if she. Yep. Just a regular. She gets a glimpse at you, kind of sitting next to her. And she's in terrible pain, but she is she sees that you're drow. She sees that you just headbutted a paw off her face, and so she has a mixture of gratitude as well as just confusion.
Can I do a bonus action?
What do you want to do?
I want to kiss her forehead.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Absolutely. So
Thank you.
You gently kiss her. You headbutt and then you gently kiss her forehead. You get a little blood in your mouth. Go ahead and roll a d20 to see if you catch any diseases. I'm just kidding. I won't do that. I won't do that.
I do have lip condoms on, so that will help.
Fantasy lip condoms.
Oh. I wear them all the time. Can't take them off. You never know.
Wouldn't they just kind of like wrap around, kind of like?
The truth is that it's fake lips. But nobody has said anything.
Are they just wax lips? Like the?
I'm picturing
They're trying to be polite.
Big red wax.
Yes. And nobody is like. They see it's just like covering. They can't see. You're talking like. Yes. Okay. Yeah. No diseases contracted in that exchange. Nihilus. So you just saw that, and
so I give Aradia a very strange look of like, oh, okay, and I head towards the thing that's closest to me. Is the Talon near me? I'd like to attack that.
Yep, you can. And by the way, since you're a Triton, yeah, you are kind of not used to being around surface dwellers too much. So you seeing her do that, you wouldn't have been bothered, although you would have heard stories about drow and stuff, you wouldn't have been as bothered as other people by Aradia, but you seeing what's happened today and seeing her do that, you're probably a little like, these fuckers are weird.
Yeah, exactly.
So you want to go after the Talon. What do you want to do?
I want to attack it with my crossbow.
Okay. Go ahead. You can... You're within range. You've got a pretty wide range with that crossbow.
Oh, that sucks. I got a 1.
Ooh.
plus 2 is 3.
Yeah. You shoot, and it's like shoots way off, and it deflects off of the Clockwork Guardian, who doesn't even... He's got his back to you, and he's kind of just like watching the side, so he doesn't even look. Okay, so do you have a bonus or anything else you'd like to do?
No, I mean, unless I can attack again with a dagger.
No.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'll have to... I'm going to say no for now.
Okay.
So you guys see guards are still taking care of a few more. DM rolls are insane.
Uh-oh.
No, good in this case.
For us.
Yeah. So you see an arm and a leg get destroyed by a couple guards. You don't see... You don't see Deuce and Trey anywhere, which is their deputies, you know. You'd think that they would be interested.
They probably don't realize what's going on.
So people are recovering, and the Talon is the last thing that you can tell is attacking. So Proddy, you're next.
Proddy, let's see. Was the Talon destroyed?
No, it's still... you saw Nihilus go after it.
Okay. I pursue the Talon with Nihilus.
Okay, do you want to attack?
Yes, please.
Okay. With your... What, your crossbow?
Yeah, I'll use the crossbow.
Okay, go ahead and roll for attack.
17. Wow, you've been rolling great.
Is that with your attack bonus?
18.
Okay. So yeah, that hits obviously. Roll 1d8 plus your Dex mod.
That's rolled a 2. So 3.
Yep, that's enough. These claws don't have too much health. You smash this claw with a bolt from your crossbow, and take it down. People are still kind of... Those who were attacked are getting up or in the process of, collecting themselves. That's it for the claws. Like I said, you don't see the creature, the tiny little 2-foot-tall creature with wings anywhere. You do see, as everything's calming down, you see Deuce and Trey come out with another pelvis, not the one that you guys saw before, and they're fighting over it. They're pulling it. They're just like fighting over it, they're like, I killed it, I killed it, I killed it. And the other one's like, no, shut the fuck up, dude, I killed it. And so they're just like doing Deuce and Trey stuff. You see the Clockwork Guardian kind of go into like a at ease stance. It doesn't like meld back into the rock or anything, but it just goes kind of onto a watch stance. And Beta is looking as flustered as a flump can look. You would think it's flustered. You're not hearing him in your head or anything. But so what do you want to do?
Well, I think we should go up to Beta and kind of figure out if he knows what's going on with these cultists.
Okay. So you go up to Beta, and he's still, his eye stalks are like, he's still kind of paranoid. He seems a little jumpy. When you get close to the Clockwork Guardian, it kind of activates one of its arms, and Beta kind of pays attention and sees, and then looks around, sees you guys. You would think he probably told it to calm down, and he says to you, you hear this in your head through telepathy, oh, that was something? Thank you, I guess.
Yeah, Beta, do you know who they were, or what was going on here? Why were they attacking you?
We've heard this is why Felix didn't want to come, is we had threats from this, they call themselves the Sidon ones. They're, as far as we can tell, they're relatively new. Others have called them Felix's informants in Inista, call them the Cult of the Skinless. And if you look at them, they peel their skin and stuff, which is gross. And in your head, you hear what sounds like someone going, like they're holding back. It's like a telepathic kind of gag.
Vomit.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're called the Cult of the Skinless, and apparently their threats were, had some weight to them. But thank God Felix made me take Hamlet with me.
That's an adorable name.
He is something, right?
Quick question.
Yeah.
So, and this is Aradia talking, obviously, when I have this voice, it's Aradia. Earlier, when you were giving your speech, you mentioned that Avner had moved on to doing some sort of religious thing. Is this at all involved with him?
It certainly could be. He went as far as Felix knew, and we knew, he went and when they broke up, he dedicated himself to Gond, and which wouldn't has Gond is, so you would know Gond is like god of invention and blacksmiths, and a neutral god, but not a you wouldn't think it was had anything to do with them. So well, let's try to add Justin in here. That's gonna screw up all the screens, so
yeah, let's do it.
I want to see if I can just do voice with him. Otherwise the screens are gonna get screwed.
Okay. Dave, what is that?
This is another purchase from John's. I think a lot of Eastern Europeans shop there. So this is like a Lithuanian beer. It's really good.
Yes, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Oh, look, the screens are different.
Yeah, that'll screw up the old stream. Yeah. Richard is taking up 3 screens now.
Oh no.
Oro, yes, it could be either.
I know, he became our center point.
Yes.
I'm pro Richard.
You know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna go with the old window capture and forget the overlay. Sorry, everyone who's not watching it now but may watch it on YouTube in the future. For all this technical difficulty stuff.
You are a cool electronic sound.
Hey, can you guys hear me? It's Justin.
That I don't fully understand.
We can hear you.
Great.
Justin, I can hear you. You're breaking it a little bit.
Okay, let's see. I don't know if my...
Does anybody else have some weird auto-tune happening?
I hear it on your end.
Oh no. Love.
What am I supposed to do?
Just keep going. Just keep going, please.
Sit around and think of you.
And I can't break through.
Oh, break through, really.
I don't know what the words are. I'm the worst person with lyrics in the world. I would put my terribleness against anyone's. Justin.
Prodi continues to sip
great.
his ale.
Yeah. Hey. Great, so my video is working now? Great.
Yeah, that's great.
Perfect. Cool, sorry. Wait, am I supposed to be in character yet?
No, you're good.
Okay. I was casting a spell. Oh, and then it took me 2 hours. Sorry. Yeah.
All right. Why don't you go ahead while I'm fixing the streaming frames? Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, plug anything you want to do, and then describe Sarah in only physical characteristics. Don't go into her backstory or anything. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hey, so I'm Justin, and I'll be playing Sarah Sierra. She is she's a witch, which is like a homebrew class that we developed, which should be really fun. And she's a furbolg. I should know that's my race. So yeah, furbolg. You know, the furbolg people.
Of course.
So that means that she is a pale blue with green hair. She's 8 foot tall, so very very big.
The tallest by far of our group.
Towering over all of us.
Yes, and the furbolgs, if you aren't familiar, they're like very like foresty people, like very hippy dippy in the nature, and
yeah, they keep to themselves for the most part. Generally, you guys would have heard of them, and they're generally known as
yeah.
I love it.
But she is.
Yeah.
They're usually pretty big. Humanoids. So that's Sarah. And Sarah, so you guys were providing security, and I would assume you guys would have met the night before when you arrived. Maybe you wouldn't have. But you would have been outside while they were inside watching gaming tables. So you were in a different part of the square, and we'll say you're coming back around the corner after a fight with. So what happened was Felix Tricknips, the guy who's paying for the town, the new town hall, didn't show up because there was a threat on his life, so he sent his undersecretary, which is a flump, which is a floating squid type thing that communicates telepathically. Very nervous guy. His name's Beta. So he was doing the ceremony. And a guy named Zeke, who asked your fellow security guards here to stop a young kid who stole his lemons. Later came and tried to attack Beta, and he had changed clothes, and he had strips of skin just peeled out of his neck, and the little one up here. And he went to attack Beta, and out from the rock where this stage was on, a giant clockwork guardian with 4 arms, stones for arms, kind of on the backside of his arms to make him blend into the rock, popped out and smacked Zeke's head off and killed him. And then something
randomly taking notes, like, okay,
yeah,
Zeke's head.
I mean, this is yeah. So another cultist came and tried to attack Beta again a little while later, got impaled by the clockwork guardian. A bag of hands and arms and spines and a couple pelvises was released into the crowd, which was attacking people, and we just finished cleaning that up. So yeah, we'll say you come around the corner with your pick. Do you want to come around the corner with a dead hand, or a claw, or a paw, or a pelvis? Okay, so you guys, not only you saw the pelvis, the first pelvis you saw, but you see Deuce and Trey. Also, Deuce and Trey are Felix's sons, adopted sons, who are big morons who like to argue with each other. They come around the corner and they're fighting over who gets to claim that they killed the other pelvis. So they're just pulling it back and forth. And so you come around with another pelvis.
Hey, I brought a pelvis. Did anyone notice it? Is anyone missing a pelvis? That's my character voice, by the way.
And this,
absolutely perfect.
And the pelvis he has is the most disgusting one.
Gee, Sarah.
Oh, sure. Sorry with the pronoun. She.
Hey, everyone. I make but tall people get confused.
I'm so excited about this group. We got a Kenku who, yeah, this is going to be awesome. Anyways, so this pelvis that Sarah has is the most decomposed. And so it would be putting off a pretty noxious smell. I'm not going to make you... Yeah, go ahead.
A little bit of aroma. I wonder, it's been sitting here a while, maybe in the sun, maybe it heated up a little. But we could use it for something if you want to maybe cast a spell. Or
how did you kill it?
Oh, I just cast the spell. I got some, I shooting some stuff.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So what are you guys going to say anything to Sarah or what?
Sarah, darling, would you do me the biggest favor and just put that in your pack? It's a little overwhelming.
It's a bit much.
I got some lemon verbena candles. You want me to light some and clear the air a little?
Please.
Yes, please.
Oh.
I'll put it.
Are you okay? Are you okay? You were over there for so long, and I didn't even think to call for you. Were you okay?
Well, I felt a little left out, that's for sure. But,
sorry.
It's okay. I was, I could take care of myself. It just came out of nowhere, the clockwork orange thingy. So I just, but I got him, and then this guy came, and he was a jerk, so I had to kill him, and then. But yeah, here I am, and it's all good.
So about this time, you guys hear a Beta telepathic scream in all your heads, and it's it's much, and it's like what's in Community, Jim Rash, is that his name? The guy in charge of the TV show. Yes. What's his name? The principal or whatever his name was.
Jim Rash.
Jim Rash.
But what's his character's name? This,
you don't know character names. We're in Hollywood.
What is TV? I've never heard of it. Is it a thing?
Yeah, you're hearing a disembodied voice. This is the DM. No. Yeah, so it's a scream like he would scream in the show Community. And you turn around and you see Beta has his tentacle wrapped around this small clockwork automaton that's got little tiny legs, and it's got like a barrel body. Its head is gone, and its arms are gone, but he's dragging it by one of the legs, and the other leg is almost falling off. But the automaton has this barrel body that seems to have a door on it, and he's screaming about Marty. He's saying, Marty!
Marty or Max?
Is your friend? Is you looking for Marty? What's going on?
So you're gonna go up to him and
Marty?
So you're gonna go up to oh my god, I just forgot Flump's name.
Flump?
Yeah.
Beta.
Oh my god,
yeah.
Beta. This is
Grieg.
This is good. My memory is not working well. Anyways, so you guys go up to Beta, and he's screaming about his automaton, and something or someone killed it. He's screaming, just, this is where I kept all my books. This is where I kept everything. He's dead.
Oh my god! Well, calm down. Let's sit down. Let's talk about it.
He's a floating.
Automatron.
This is what he looks like, and he's floating. So him sitting down doesn't work.
And you kept books in that thing?
No. I'm drawing the automaton.
It looks like it would get sticky, to be honest.
I'm drawing the automaton. So
no, Sarah, that is Beta.
Oh, you're Beta. Okay, great. Well, I'm Sarah, and that's great.
No, that's Nihilus. You're talking to Nihilus. Nihilus telling you
who's on first.
That weird sticky thing is Beta. And then the robot clockwork man is Marty, who he kept all of his stuff in.
Marty kind of looks like this.
like a
the line make it weird.
Okay.
Sure, yeah. But think like I'll show you guys a picture later. He doesn't have arms, and he's got one leg hanging almost off now.
Like Bender from Futurama, sort of.
Oh yeah.
Doesn't Bender have a head? Like a...
Yes, well,
like
this is Bender.
Okay,
But it's like
yeah.
almost.
Yeah. So he's Beta's screaming about Marty, and this is where he kept his books, and he's very distraught. He's starting to calm down, and Deuce and Trey come up and go, Beta, shut the fuck up. You're so loud. You just quiet down. You have 50 million of these at home. Like, Dad can just make you one. What are you freaking out about this?
Instinctively, Aradia goes to hug Beta.
Yeah, it sounds like you've got a really tumultuous relationship right now.
And when you go to hug Beta, it's one of those times when you hug someone and you feel like they really need it. They kind of lean into it a little bit.
Yeah, maybe hold on a little longer than I was anticipating,
yes.
Even though I wanted it to.
But then you're just kind of allowing it because you're like, this person needs it. So I'm going to allow this to happen.
I got some tissues in my bag. Do you want some?
Prati starts doing like a heartbeat sound. He's like...
Yeah, so Prati is a Kenku who just can mimic things perfectly. So he's potentially our police academy.
Oh my gosh, yeah, great.
What Winslow, yeah.
There we go.
Again, I'm bad with character names, which is evident. Yeah, so Beta leans into it, and in only your head, you hear him goes, I've had many library automatons, but he was my favorite. He seemed to have a personality, and I guess my books are fine in there, but so he, as soon as you're done hugging, he goes to Marty, he opens the front panel, and he just starts pulling out book after book after book after book after book. It's all his writing, yeah. So these seem to be
they're like journals.
They look like journals, accounting journals, just notes he would have took as the undersecretary to the undersecretary of Felix Tricknips, the great inventor of Invir. So he's pulling all these out, and it's a pretty huge stack. Like, you don't know how that many fit in there, but you would quickly... You've heard of bags of holding before, and haversacks, which kind of have another dimensional space in them. They can hold more than what looks like they're bigger on the inside, type deal.
Like my attic, it just kind of builds up over the years.
Sure. Sure. Is this Justin or Sarah?
It's a little bit of both, really. I think we can all relate.
Yeah, so he goes... Because you were so nice to him, he goes back up to you, and in your head you hear, as annoying as those idiot sons are, he's right. If Felix can make me another, I can get another, so I want you to have this. It's broken, but the body works.
So we have to drag it around everywhere?
You mean like a bin, like an empty trash bin?
It's like this big, but so he goes up, he's telling Aradia this. You guys aren't hearing this unless she tells you afterwards. So he's telling you, Aradia, he's saying, you take it with you. It only holds books, but it can hold a lot of books.
Can I tell you something?
Sure. You're hearing her. She's saying this like verbally while
you can hear this.
Yeah.
Can I tell you something? A long time ago, I used to have a lot of books, and then the eraser happened, and I have less books now. But what I can tell you is that I lost a good friend, and I don't take this for granted. Thank you, sir.
Who are you talking to? You're just
he's talking to me with telepathy. It's coming from nowhere.
Oh, okay.
Sarah.
I thought it was a demon or something.
And his eye stalks are gonna look you in the eyes, and you're not sure if he's gonna cry or if that's like a natural thing flumps have, that they just have watery eyes. This is your best look at a flump up close, and he tells you, like, you look like somebody who appreciates books, and
oh my god, I do so much.
And his tentacles grab you by the wrist, and he says, do not put anything else in there unless you want it gone forever.
Okay. Thank you.
It only holds books. Everything I put in there gets thrown back out.
Oh, so it won't die forever inside the thing. I just want to make sure I understand the...
Yeah, sure.
Try putting a dead body in it.
I mean, we have a pelvis. We have to...
You want to try to stuff a pelvis in there? Keep in mind, it's this big.
The evidence. It's
sure.
A really convenient thing.
Sure.
You know?
Sure. So,
Sarah, this is sounding like you murdered a random person. Evidence?
Let's not talk about it. He's done. I'm chaotic neutral. I'm not neutral. That means you deserved it.
So, Sarah, go ahead and make a you're gonna try to stuff the pelvis in Marty, and roll a d20 and then add your strength modifier.
Okay. I got an 8,
Okay, so you struggle pretty. It's again, this thing is only this big and a smaller door, and the pelvis is bigger than this usually. So you're trying to you're trying to change directions, and part of the decaying skin is being peeled off, but finally you manage to get it in there, and you put it in, and a second or two later it goes, shoots it out into the air about 50 feet in the air, which is pretty far.
I feel like that could be useful in some way.
Oh, it's like a potato launcher.
With the pelvises.
Yeah,
like.
the pelvis. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's not accepting anything but books.
Okay.
I take out my copy of the erased version of hold on, wait, let me make sure I say this right.
Sure.
Of the blank book of Kyrgyz's Night Songs, Tales of Misadventures, and I put it safely into Marty.
Okay, so you put it into Marty, and it disappears into it, and you go to pull it out again, and you're thinking about the book, and you pull out the same book again. So you would know this since you're a learned person. You just think about the item you've put in there when you're looking for something, and you pull it out. So it's not like you can look into it and it'll always be there. It's usually you have to be thinking about it to see it and grab it. Can
I try and cast mending on the
sure.
Marty?
Sure.
The cantrip I have that mends the stuff. So
Okay. Are you okay with that, Aradia? Since it's your
Yes.
mending. Let me look up that spell real quick, because
I gotta look it up too. There's limitations on what it can mend. Like
you're not going to be. Yeah, you won't be able to mend major things, but things like clothing or like a door, stuff like that. So the spell repairs a single break or tear in an object you touch, such as a broken chain link, two halves of a broken key, a torn cloak, or a leaking water skin. As long as the break or tear is no larger than 1 foot in any dimension, you can mend it, leaving no trace of former damage.
Is Marty a foot big? Or?
He's bigger than a foot. His body is probably like a little over a foot, and so everything else on him would be bigger than that. So you can keep the one nearly broken off leg, or and the one fully capable leg, or you can knock him off and carry this thing kind of like a
backpack.
Yeah, an addition to your backpack, kind of. Like you could even put a strap on it if you wanted to, or you could, I don't know, you could wear it as a fanny pack. I don't know.
I think can we try to see if Sarah can mend the broken leg, just to see if she can like reattach it?
Sure. Yeah. When you roll a d20 and add your spellcasting modifier.
Ooh, okay. My spell attack one and my spellcasting ability modifier? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a 22.
Wow. Yeah. So.
Yeah. I'm pretty good at spells, you guys.
The nearly broken off leg comes together pretty well. It's pretty well on the body now, but it's not quite moving as it should. You think it probably has something to do with the magic or whatever was allowed it to walk around and follow Beta around. You would think that it probably, since it's a magic item, it's not going to be able to fully repair it. So things like a door, which has a simple function, or a wagon wheel, or a key, it can very well, mending can fix that. But yeah, so it's up to you.
No problem. I'll just put a little strap on it and carry them around. For
Okay.
now.
Yeah.
You can make like a sash. You want to make like a? I can stitch you up a belt. Do you want?
Do you
like
have something? I like green. Do you have any green?
I got some dyes and some poisons. Maybe I can paint it with some poison.
Well, yeah. Let's talk about it. We can talk about it later. I'll just carry it for right now. I would like that.
We'll save it for arts and crafts night.
Oh, that's fun. In our big bed. Oh, I don't think Sarah knows that we have a big bed.
So
Yeah, we all share one big bed.
We're staying at the Big Bed Inn, and so all of the rooms are just one.
the huge bed inn. So,
Huge bed.
The huge bed.
so Sarah, you know how the door opens outwards, but when you open the door, the bed is up against the door frame. So
That's cool.
Anyways, so when you guys are doing this, you're talking to Beta, and Beta is thanking you profusely. Telling only you guys through telepathy how much he hates the sons of Felix, Deuce and Trey. And Deuce and Trey are they say to you, "Hey guys, you guys earned your pay today. I will say that." And Trey goes, "Yeah, I don't often agree with this dickhead, but yeah, you guys got it coming to you. So good job, good on you, and we'll keep you in mind for any future endeavors. We are businessmen, and we like to keep our options open and keep our contacts." They're just saying bullshit. Clearly, they don't know what words mean.
Can I give you my business card? I have a line on Etsy. I do a little bit. I do security detail during the day, but my real passion is selling brews and potions and whatever you're looking for. I do custom orders too. So let me give you my card. It's Sarah Sierra's Beauty Makeup and Magic.
Okay. and Deuce and Trey are very receptive, and they're like, "Thank you. We do like to meet a fellow business person," and they're changing their voice to sound a tad regal, and so they happily accept your card. Proddy, you notice that Jacqueline comes out of the bar, and she's got a giant knife impaled with 2 hands, a foot, and another pelvis. This knife is huge. Looks completely unusable, but she's got a giant knife, and she's coming out, and she goes up to Deuce and Trey. She's pissed off, and she goes, "I've had it with this town. I'm going to Anista. I'm dropping everything. Fuck all." And just drops it, and she just starts walking. Yeah. Proddy, you say anything?
No.
You're muted, I think.
Oh, he is.
I just do a Peter Griffin.
And she
I walk over to the knife and I pick it up.
Good. You now have a knife with 2 claws, a pelvis, and a foot. It's
right.
It's pretty damn long. It might function as a short sword or something.
Do a Crocodile Dundee. That's not a knife. It's a knife.
And nobody there is like.
Sword, to be honest, I mean, it's pretty big for a knife. I think. We don't want to call it a sword, but it's basically a sword, right?
Yeah. And none of them.
It's even big enough for Sarah.
Yeah. I use one of those to put jam on bread.
Yeah. So she's walking to Anista, or so it seems. Deuce and Trey are kind of like looking around. They don't know what their job entails around here. The rest of the town is helping each other. The ones who were attacked are getting aid. You guys can try to help with that if you want. Nihilus, you are a little bit injured. I think you took 2 points of damage.
Yeah.
So you're not feeling great. You're not feeling terrible either. Yeah, and it sounds like you guys have completed your task. And remember, in the note that was sent to you by Max Morningbrow, he mentioned that he gave one of you, and he couldn't remember who, a comp stone, which you'd be able to say if you completed the assignment or not. Yeah. So I'll say, you know what? I'll roll a d20 and figure out which one of you got it. All right, 1, 2. Aradia, I guess you got the comp stone. So, yeah, you got that. You can send him, use it to send him a message, or what do you want to do?
Yes, I'll just...
He didn't explain how to use it, so...
So I just kind of take it up
Sure,
to my hand and
sure.
I go, "We're done!"
Hashtag
Hello?
Dunzo.
And so, nothing for a few seconds, you keep yelling into it?
Hello?
All right.
We are done!
He goes, after a few seconds of silence, you're trying to figure out what happened, and you're like, you hear, "What the fuck? Keep it down!"
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know.
Have you never used a sending stone before?
Now that you say sending stone, I have used one, but I think I didn't realize that's what this was.
Sending stone, comp stone. Where did you grow up that you can't figure out other names for things? This
in a
is
monastery where things were very literal. Thank you very much.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, so you completed the mission. You've reached Max. Nice to meet you. Which one of you are the group I sent there to provide security for the Tricknips brothers?
Yes, that's us. That's
No, but who am I talking to?
Oh, this is Proddy Rod.
Proddy Rod. You know what's weird about that? You don't sound like a Proddy Rod. It's just one of those things. I'm usually good with putting faces to names or voices to names or whatever way that goes. Anyways, so you completed the mission. You can pick up your payment in Anista if you want. Or I can send it to wherever you're at. It'll take however long it takes. Remember, you guys are in Strew, so... Oh, God, that'll take about a week to get to you, and...
Well, maybe here's the bigger question, if you don't mind me interrupting. I was just thinking, is there another assignment that we should be headed towards? If it is in Anista, we could go there.
I mean, I've got assignments. I have plenty of assignments in Anista, but it's yeah. I mean, I got nothing unless I don't think the Tricknips, idiots. They're idiots. Did you guys notice that? Are they right next to you right now? Like, can they?
Aradia looks to the side.
And they're fighting over the pelvis.
I think it's fine.
Anyways, they're fucking idiots, and so I'm glad you guys completed it, and this will go a long way to getting you, acceptance into Venture Ventures agency, adventuring agency, and yeah, and if they're happy, I'm happy, and I've got more work for you here. I don't have anything in Strew. I guess just if you want more work, there's some more work here, so it's up to you.
Well, is it okay if I just check in with everyone and then I'll get back to you in a little bit?
Yeah, just don't yell into the stone when you...
A polite whisper.
Thank you. I was trimming my nose hairs.
Oh, you could keep that to yourself.
And you don't hear anything. He's done with the conversation.
You should really wax his nose hairs. It's a lot more last longer.
In your nose? That sounds horrible.
Oh no, I got like a mud sticky solution that kind of does
that like numbs it before it pulls it out. Oh,
it's got a little lavender. It keeps your nose fresh.
Okay.
You, Sarah, are amazing.
Yeah. So, Proddy, are you okay with her calling her Aradia calling herself Proddy?
Yeah, I'm okay. I don't know why she did it, but I still trust her.
Okay. So yeah, Deuce and Trey are fighting over the pelvis, and Beta. I keep forgetting Beta's name. Jesus. Beta is trying to get them to pay attention because he wants them to go back home and basically get out of his hair, as he's going to take care of cleaning up town. And the Clockwork Guardian is just standing guard still. You guys, it's pretty... The sun's going down. People are kind of going back into their homes. Jacqueline left. So nobody's manning the bar as far as you know. Yeah, what do you want to do? You want to start heading to Anista, or do you want to head out in the morning?
I would like to head out in the morning so I can get some of my HP back here.
Yeah, for sure.
I liked cuddling in the big bed together.
Yeah, sure. What do you want to do?
Okay, let's see here. So I've got God, I thought I had a healing spell.
I mean, I have a healing spell.
You have a healing spell on yourself?
Yeah, I have a healing spell.
Oh yeah, I have healing light.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
I have cure wounds.
If we long rest, then that's all we need, right?
Yeah, just heal on up. So, yeah. You guys want to grab a bite and then go to your big bed and have
a cuddle? Have a cuddle?
Yeah, sure. You guys can apparently...
Sarah pretty much is Big Spoon no matter what.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think even a big spoon sometimes likes to be a little spoon. I'll big spoon you, Sarah.
Aw, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I use up my 2 spell slots before going to bed?
To do what?
The last thing, I can charm a person. Do we want to try and charm a person?
Should we go to the bar and get drunk and see what?
I think we should definitely try to charm the bartender and maybe get a free drink.
There's no bartender.
There's no bartender anymore.
As far as you know.
Well, then I just get a free drink.
Yeah, why don't we just go behind the bar?
By the way, they were already free because Felix was paying for everything.
Oh my god, I'm getting drunk. Okay, I'm going to...
But this time it feels like we're getting something for free.
Sure, because no one is handing it to you. Sure.
Yeah.
So you guys go back to the tavern and start drinking?
Yeah.
Do you have a spell that can make sure we don't get hangovers, Sarah?
Well, I can cure wounds. I can detect poison and disease.
Yeah, you can detect that someone's drunk.
What if we drink so much that we get to 1 HP, but then we cure our wounds and drink more?
You wouldn't lose. You wouldn't lose your health.
You haven't been drunk enough, Jake.
But if you guys, you'll feel like you're dead. But if you guys would like to get drunk, we can roll on a carousing table, and have a little fun.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys, so there's ale. What did I say? There's ale and there's mead.
Mead
was running low.
low on need. Yeah.
You have like a summer sea breeze, or like,
a nice sangria, maybe.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys have your percentage dice, or those of you who don't have dice. Well, let me go to each one of you. So, Sarah, how trashed are you getting? Sarah?
Oh, that's me. I'm getting just enough trash that I can feel easygoing and easy to approach people, but not too drunk that I'm trying to sell my beauty products to everyone in the store.
So you're just loosening up a little bit,
I'm gonna drink like 2 sea breezes just on the rocks and just kind of sit back and watch the people watch. I'm trying to see who might be a customer that I could approach in the morning. If I see that they've got some under eye fatigue, maybe
Sure.
I can offer them some concealer or something.
Yeah, you would have when Jacqueline came back out, you would have saw that she needed that, but she took off so quick. She's on her way to Anista. Maybe if you guys head back down there, you can catch up to her.
Well, this is the new mission, to be honest. I need customers. So let's forget everything about security and just find
And getting paid. Yeah.
Treating baggy eyes. This is a new mission across the world.
I have anti-aging defying cream. I've got my, everything for whatever you need. I got a full line of under eye and over eye products.
So, Richard, how drunk are you getting?
I want to get drunk enough that I am just going to be flirting with everyone at the bar.
Yes.
So you're getting pretty damn drunk.
Pretty damn wasted.
Yeah.
If you want a charm person spell, let me know.
Go ahead and
I'm
make
charismatic.
a Constitution saving throw. Roll a d20 and then add your Constitution save.
Okay, so I rolled an 11 plus 2, so that's 13.
Your Constitution save, which is different than your ability, is the small box underneath the one you just looked at. So there's a...
Oh, okay, so that's 15 is my save.
The +4, yeah. So you get... you're handling your liquor, you're pretty sloshed. So... we won't roll on any tables. Nothing happens. Too bad, unless you drink more. Proddy, how much do you want to drink?
I want to get so drunk that I think I have wings again.
Oh, no!
Go ahead and roll a Constitution save.
Oh, 9.
+0, which is 9. Yeah, so, okay, now roll a D100. So you can do that by... I
have a D1. I have a D100.
You have like a 2D10s?
You do.
Yeah.
It's all in the 10s. It doesn't have 100% in there, though.
Yeah, you just... 1D10 is for the 1s column, and 1D10 is for the 10s column. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay, got it. So I just roll it twice?
Yeah. So...
All right, so 60... Oh, 60 again.
So,
6.
Okay, 66. Yeah. Let me look. So, the next morning, you wake up on some hay, and you're surrounded by hay. And,
you need a speak with animals spell? Because
you realize you guys aren't with him, but Proddy, you realize that your head is not on hay, and you look around and you see a slightly homely girl is disrobed, asleep on the hay beside you, and at this point you've realized you're in a barn somewhere, and the door to the barn is being opened by someone. And now we'll move on to Aradia. How drunk do you want to get, Aradia?
I think my intention is to just have one beer, but because I've never really drank before, even though, you know, monasteries, they do have alcohol, I was young, so like I didn't really move up to the rank where I could have that. So who knows what will happen is what I'm saying. The intention is one. Right.
So Angie, you've had a good day. I mean, you killed some hands and some pelvises.
I got a cuddle, which is like huge for me.
And you got a badass library, part of the body of a library automaton.
Yeah.
Keep in mind those bodies of those people are still outside. So you guys... Like,
we don't care about that.
Okay.
It wasn't in our contract.
Okay, no, but you could have. Sure.
Can I loot the body?
Yeah, you could have. You could have, but we're already into the night. So Aradia, go ahead and roll. So you're insinuating that you want to get pretty drunk, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so roll a Constitution save.
And that's D20.
D20, and then add your con save.
Great. Got a 10, and then Constitution save is +1.
Okay, so roll a D100. 1D100.
97.
Wow.
Oh my god. I'm super excited.
No. You never want to hear a DM say that.
So you wake up in the hut of a local witch.
Is it me?
No, it's not. It's not Sarah.
Okay.
Her cauldron is upended, and the contents, it looks like, have been drunk. Okay, let me roll again. Okay. You you look down at your feet, and your feet are chicken feet. Now.
Oh no!
And,
Welcome to the
oh man, you're lucky. Okay. Well, we'll see how long that lasts.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think that's a good place to stop, guys. With
leaving me with some chicken feet.
Yeah, Proddy's had his drunken hookup, and someone is opening a door on him in a barn. We'll see if Sarah has any leads on some potential sales. And Nihilus looks like he came out the best out of everyone. But thanks for joining us. This is the first episode, and I apologize for any streaming issues we had. But come back next week at 4 p.m. Pacific time on Twitch again Sunday, and we'll be back to move on to episode 2. Find out next week if Aradia keeps her chicken feet, and if
I hope so.
And if
I might like them. I don't know.
And if Proddy, find out if Proddy gets his ass beat by a potential father. Ooh. Yeah. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.